to Auburn Community Television in this episode of Meet the Artist. Meet the Artist is supported by the North Auburn Artist. Now typically I interview a local artist in our community, but today our guests are visitors to our community. I am at the General Gomez Event Center, and I am so honored to be able to introduce you to the Tibetan monks and the creation of a mandala. Today we are going to be interviewing some of the sponsors and the groups that have brought them here, as well as the monks themselves. And of course, we will get to see the creation of mandala. Our first guest is Jesse Gullum. Jesse is with the Sierra Friends of Tibet,
Auburn.
And he is going to tell us a little bit about what has brought the Tibetan monks here, and a little bit about the creation of the mandala, and some general information. So I appreciate you joining us.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure.
So tell me a little bit about, first off, just the setup that we have here, because this is absolutely amazing when you walk into this room.
There is a beautiful energy to it, and we have been privileged to host a group of Tibetan Buddhist monks from Gaden Shartse Monastery in southern India for 4 of the last 5 years here at the General Gomez Center. And there's nothing that we do that's that special. We set up chairs and make arrangements to provide for the monks while they're here in Auburn, but it's the monks themselves that bring everything that you see and what you feel here in the room, most importantly.
Now, there are also some items that actually get made when they arrive here as well. I understand some of the things that we see on the altar are made here.
Yes, and that's part of their customs, and they'll be better suited to answer any questions about those. Those are ritual items, they're sacred items.
Oh, I can't look. That's when I get to talk to the Tibetan monks then.
Yeah, that's right.
So tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this group, and then how the group maybe even got involved with the Tibetan monks.
Well, Sierra Friends of Tibet hosted the first tour in Grass Valley, I believe, in 2001. And through the consecutive years following, they've hosted tours every year for probably 15 or 16 years in a row. And the monks used to visit Auburn 1 or 2 days on their schedule. And at some point in time, we got more involved within our community to help organize additional events within the community, because I knew at some point in time our desire was to bring the whole tour with the Sand Mandala to our community.
Now, what is the significance then of the Sand Mandala in being part of this experience?
This is a very unique spiritual art form that dates back to Tibet. And once again, any questions regarding the Sand Mandala, I'm going to defer to the monks. They could answer that much better than I can.
Now, while they are staying here, because I understand they're here for over a week.
2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Yes.
And do they stay in local hotels? Do they stay
No, we house them. We provide everything for them. The community steps up and helps to provide. We have a donor appreciation board over there of all the different local businesses that help provide food and items. But yeah, we provide everything they need.
And so that must be quite an experience in and of itself to be able to host the monks in their homes.
Yes.
That would be a fabulous experience.
It's one of the perks. Yes.
Now, also, this typically runs for 2 weeks every year. Is that what you try to do?
10 days here at the Gomez, and then we have additional events within the community afterwards.
And so you've been here for about a week, and actually we'll be doing the dissolution ceremony this evening.
Yes.
And then there's something going on this weekend as well.
This weekend, Saturday at 11 o'clock, we'll have the sand ceremony, wonderful. They'll take the remainder of the mandala sand and will be at School Park Preserve, Auburn School Park Preserve, and they do an environmental blessing where they'll return the sand to the water and bless all the environment surrounding the water and all the inhabitants who live there, including all the little animals and people and anybody around that area.
So that for the entire time that they're here, it is an experience from the beginning to the end for the people in the community.
Yes.
That is absolutely fabulous. Now, I understand that there is kind of an embracement of this by other faiths within the community as well.
Yes, we have some good interfaith support here. And the philosophy that they bring, their message of loving kindness and compassion, is universal. You can find that thread within all the major faiths.
And this is the perfect segue because we actually have Pastor Ron from the Bethlehem Lutheran Church, who is also here today, and he's going to be joining us next. Pastor Ron, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
I thought this was an incredible opportunity this morning because you actually happened to happen in on our filming. And I love the fact that there is this outreach to the community, in particular in other faiths. And I thought we could talk a little bit about your involvement and what has brought you here and what it means to the community of your church as well as the community as a whole.
Yeah, well, interfaith friendships have always been important for me. I think there's just too much adversity in the world as it is. And so not only people within a different faith, but also across faiths, I've always felt it important for us to embrace each other and support each other as any way that we can. When I came to Auburn in 2016, shortly after that, I had the privilege of a visit from Jesse Gilliam, and that established this relationship ever since.
Mm-hmm. And do you happen just to stop by, or are you part of the ceremonies, or what exactly is your involvement?
Yeah, I've had the privilege of being asked to speak at the opening ceremonies for 2 years. And I also stop by because the stuff that they do here is just absolutely fascinating.
And what message do you take away from this process of creating a mandala and what the Tibetan monks bring to the community?
Every time I'm here, I'm just filled with peace and hope and love, and harmony is probably the best word that I can think of. And who does not need more of that in their life?
Well, that is absolutely, I love that, the harmony.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you stopping by and talking with us.
Thank you.
And here we are with the Tibetan monks, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce names because I am absolutely terrible. I get tongue-tied. But it's so appreciative that they are actually joining us, and I thank you very much. We are going to be working with the translator, which is something a little bit new for me, so please bear with us, all of us, as we try to go through this process today. I've been coming by every day for the last week to watch what has been happening here in the creation of this mandala, and to also see the process step by step. And that's what I hope that I can take you through today, through talking with those who are creating it, and then also with photos that we have been shooting all through the week. First off is a thank you very much. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you very much.
And one of the things I noted that I came in on the first day is that everything was drawn out and lines were drawn.
예, 안에 단다 당고 모란데 당고 델레도 걸어야. 안에 긴골기 다 제법 판말루니라 사상 틱 탱기도스. 틱 탱도 걸어 틱 장마 쉬우지 탱기도 뭔데 안에 가르치는데 틱 탱고야 되는 저 가르레스.
틱디 다 긴고 롬데 양어서야 나이도 잠바 아니 틱이 쪼단기 답이 산제기 바 숨기 나라네 골라야 틱 아니 딜이야네 더블 틱 딜이야 틱제 시숨기 토네 아니 전루고 요르스 틱디 캐치슈 쳐 요르스 틱이 틱제 된전에 유네마 아니 유콩 투부다 산제기 유딘데네마 인데데 셰야간 개벌 간조 인데다 강버 개브디 잠바 쳇시 쇠번나지 토메 사드나 신드레스 캐치슈 지레스.
So the lions are like they are the prime, the principle things that we do in a mandala. It is the words that it's written from the Lord Buddha in a written text, that the lineages that although whatever you color in that particular area, but the line should be exact the same, because the lineages until now we've been preserving is the lineages from the Lord Buddha. So that's why the arts there, the lines there, which show us the how the palace or how the universal of that particular deity is can represent from that arts. And so after that we put the sand in it.
So now when you look at the mandala, is it actually telling a story or delivering a message by what we're seeing?
To see the mandala, it depends on the person who is seeing it in their perspectives. So people who are practitioners who are very deep towards the mandala, they understand the every single the symbolism in there. When they see with a very deep faith and the strong motivation, and through those people they have a different projection in their eyes, that they see with the all detail, and they see with the things that how it works actually in a tantric way to reach towards the Buddhahood, towards the deity, what particular mandala it is. But for example, like people other person, like people who come here just to see and take the view and take the beauty of the mandala, they have a different perspective. They can see with their kind of like a culture sharing. They can see with the view that how it is beautiful, how it is made with a very strong patience, a very a strong enthusiastic way to how it works, the lineages from the 2500 years before until now. So it depends on the people perspectives.
Now, when you do this, do the colors have significance in the placement of those? Because you said that there are images and things through it, but do the colors also convey meaning?
So we do have, for example, like each and every significant the color is a different symbolism. So for example, if we talk about the wall that is in the mandalas and mandala, the wall we put as 5 different colors: the white, green, blue, red, and this colors that we put, it represents different the Buddhas. Once you are in a Buddhahood, once you reach the enlightenment state, you can only go through the 5 main Arya Buddha. Arya Arhant means Buddha. That through this positive energy, through these lineages, you can be achieved in a Buddhahood. So this represents this 5 main Arhant Buddha in a way of blue. And like for example, like Verochana for Amitabha, Amongasiti, Ratna Sambhava, like this the main Arya Buddha that represents.
So before you came, did this mandala supposed to be conveying a certain meaning? Is it celebrating anything specific? Is the design done before you come?
So before building this mandala, we have to memorize the text of mandalas. So that's through this text, it's written in there the how precise it has to be, and how we have to make in a way that how it works with. So this is the lineages from 2500 years before. So we've been preserving this on this text. According to this text, we do the lines. We do, and once it is done, we do the sand in a way of how this particular thing has to be colored with, how it has to be presents with like that.
Now I've noticed too that you use certain tools
Yes.
in the creation of the mandala, which is they're tools I've not seen before, and you have actually brought them to us for an example. Can you show us what's the main one that we see that there seems you put some sand inside of it? Is that how this works?
Yes. And this is the the one that we put the sand inside it. This we call chakri. Chakru. So, and this is the one that we make a vibration on it. So if you vibrate on top, it makes more sand to come. If you vibrate on down, it makes little sand to come. If you vibrate fast, it makes very big amount of sands to come. If you make slow, and then it comes little slow, the amount of small amount of the sand mandala. So this is we call chadar and chowri. And this one is the sand that that it is made out of a precious stone. And once it actually is a white precious stone, once it is crushed and it became grains, so we mix we wash that stone, that's powder, in a way that it will not be like only the powder. So there has some small amount of grain there that used to work in a sand mandala. So when it is done, and then we put the color with the different colors that which is needed to the sand mandala. And when it is done, and then we dry it up, and then we we make to use this to the mandala.
Now, do you bring the sand with you then?
Yes, of course.
And is this all done before you leave and come to the United States, or are you making the sand product while you're here?
We do this. We did this in our. Actually, we do this in our monastery.
Okay.
Once we were there, we are prepared to go there, and it's confirmed. Then we do like before 1 month.
Now, I work with pastels.
Yes.
And one of the problems I have with pastels is that some of the colors are toxic, particularly when you get to the yellows and the reds. Is that part of the reason maybe that they wear masks, is because of the potential powder that could be coming off of the sand? Or is it more just so that they don't breathe over the mandala?
So yes, it is like how it is like that. Before doing and before starting the sand mandala, also the line, we do we do a purification to all the stools and the colors also. And we also do a consecration to all the tools and colors and the tables. And so one before it is done before starting. So that's why we are wearing the what we call the mask to not to be not to be the purification there, the not to be spoiled up, not to be the power, the energy is not to be go down like. So that's why to have a the belief that once it is purified, it is better not to be make this dust or make this dirty. So that's why we wear masks.
Now, I understand at your monastery you have monks that are as young as 5, and they go up to all ages. At what point do they start learning how to work with the sand and creating the mandalas?
It's depend on individual. If they are interested or they have a very good arts, the nature arts, and they can join. They can learn like after 15. And so that actually to do the sand mandala, it has to go with a very long process. So you have to memorize all the texts and that it's written in a way that we've been preserving. And also we have to do some retreat, that we are dealing with the sand mandala. According to our tradition, you are dealing with some celestial beings, some noble beings, which is formless. So that's why we need to do some retreat there before doing the sand mandala. And one is you have a good arts and the nature of good arts, and also the that your hand is not shaking when you do the sand mandala. So this kind of monks can learn sand mandala when after 15th. And then once it has to go with a long process, all the systems there to learn this sand mandala.
Now, I noticed too that the table they're working on is a higher table. Is that so it's easier to be leaning over it and on it to kind of give that support to help with that straight line? And and also make sure you don't hurt the back.
So the table has to be in a not very high, not very small, in a way that it's in middle. That people who monks who do the sand mandala can be easy to do it, like this kind of way that we make the table. So it's a way that how if you make very small, then it is not easy to do it.
Yes.
And if it's very tall, then you are not easy to do it. So it has to be in a accurate the size that your back, you will not have a back pain and like that.
Now you have several ceremonies that during the week that the 10 days you've been here, and I understand that there are certain things on the tables that have been created once you've come here as well, that are part of the blessings. And someone was telling me that you actually use kind of a paste to create, an oatmeal paste to create some of them on the actual ceremony up, and then the white that's on those, and those are part of the ceremonies that you conduct here. Can you talk about a little bit about that and those things that you're creating here?
You are talking about ritual cake.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a very vast subject,
Yes.
the ritual cake, because we are, as I mentioned before, we are, we are doing we are making the sand mandala with connecting with the formless realms, the celestial, the bodhisattvas, we can call the noble beings. So once you do that in a tradition way, because our tradition came from India, in a tradition way that once some very high noble beings comes to your home, what do? We try to make the instruments that welcome, and then also we throw some flowers on a way that he passed away for past form, and also we prefer some incense to good smell, and so also sometimes we gave like then we offer the food. And this ritual cake actually it represents that we are offering the food to the whole noble beings, or the deities and the bodhisattvas, so that once they once they are settled down, we offer the food. They make them rejoice that their blessing will be with us. So this represents the white way, the ritual cake that we call in torma. Torma means the food offering for those bodhisattvas and those noble beings. So in this white ritual cake, we have it has to be with the 6 different the ingredients, the 3 white ingredients that we call milk, butter, and yogurt. That has to be there. And the 3, the sweet one is the honey and sugar, and we call puram. Actually, I don't know. It's made the one sweet is made out of sugar cane.
Okay.
The ones that we use in a daily, for the tea, like this kind of. So these 3 we put inside this in particular ritual cake, and then we make and in a design way. And then once the white there, you can see that we are posing.
Yes.
We are try to do how magnificent it is with our own bodies, speech and mind, that we put 3 steps there, that please bless us. Main thing, our main door is body, speech and mind, that we are dealing with every day. That whatever you are good or bad, everything depends on your body, speech and mind. So that's why try to bless our body, speech and mind. We put 3 steps there with a white color, that may be more magnificent, and also to be origin to bless us.
Now I also noticed that you have banners, but I'm going to call banners across the back. First off, what would you call them? And then what are their significance to what we're seeing?
Banner means
The hanging.
okay. Those are the images of Buddha and
Okay.
Bodhisattvas.
Yes.
So these are the the photos, the image of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas. So they whatever they have done in this world, being being the positive energy that they create. Once you have the image in front of you, besides of you, that makes you more peaceful in your mind. That makes you more, the positive energy to grow in our, our body, speech, and mind. So that's why we keep them, and also we do the empowerment of all those celestial beings, all those bodhisattvas, noble beings. So once we do empowerment, sometimes we have to show the audience that this deity images is like that. This is how his posture is like that. He is holding this or she is holding that. Like this we have to present them. So to do this also we keep these images, and also this will also give us a very good healing within once you sit next to the bodhisattvas and noble beings images. It also makes you it automatically makes you heal from the obstacles, from the diseases, from the sickness, like that.
Now, after going through this entire week, we are now going to have the dissolution ceremony, and that is actually where it is basically wiped away. Can you explain to me what exactly this symbolizes?
So dissolution ceremony, what we do is, as I mentioned before, we have done all the purifications and the ritual that makes to bless all those tools. And once it is sand mandala is done, and then now and that in a way that we do a ritual that thank you for the deities that they've been present in this sand mandala in a way of ritual, and we do a consecrations to that deities also be present in that sand mandala. Once it is done, then we do a conclusion, that appreciation that being here is, we are very happy that you are being here. So that we do conclusions ritual that this deity can now can go in a way that now we want to dissolve and dissolution it. So once it is done, then what we do is we do the dissolutions. That represents actually in this world how we do struggle in our life, how much struggle you do. One day we have to leave everything. So how much struggle we try to build in this mandala form to represent to our deities, to represent the nature to be purified, to represent the blessing can be with us. How much we do, but one day you have to leave this all, and you have to leave this all with, although how much attached, how much love you have, but you have to leave this all. So to represent this, we are showing the impermanence. Everything is impermanent. So we are dissolution it, because everything is by nature, it is impermanence. So once we do dissolution, we gave a little, then we put the sand that we brought from India, that in this until now His Holiness 14th Dalai Lama have done the more than 35 Kala Chakra. This means the times of will, the special, very special rich, the ceremony with the sand mandala. So we have a small amount of that sand, that what all those sand, that 35 Kala Chakra sand, and we put in our this sand also. And also in our monastery we do a lots of sand mandala ritual ceremony. So we also bought the until now whatever we have done, this small amount of sand of that, and we mix with that, and we we gave a little amount with the plastic bag with to others, that can be very useful once people passed away, people in a body. If you put a little amount of sand on the top of his head, it we in a way of our traditions that we believe that can make you to have a good afterlife. the the what we call transportations or to go in, so that can lead you the clear path that we believe. And also in a way that in the civilian in Tibet, what we do, if we mix this with our our crops that we are going to grow in our farms, that if you mix this, it can make you very beautiful, very beneficial crops that we also believe. So this how because it's the blessed one and the blessed with the deity and the noble beings presence here. So that's we use in a different form. This very powerful that we believe. And when it is done, then we the main one we try to mix with the nature. So the best way to mix with the nature is river, because it passes away all the time. So it cross with the every corner of the that particular land. So that we mix with the river that go through all those that can bless all this environment, that we can have a good rainfalls, good like a good harmony environment, like this kind of that way of belief that we believe that.
I always believe that art speaks to everyone, and you have certainly shown that with the mandala. As you said, that each one of us comes and looks at the mandala, and we take something away from it in ourselves. And it also is a way to create the harmony and serenity. So I really appreciate you coming to our community and giving us the time today. I want to thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
ndo xiao ma ro ta ndere de cho de ne nam de le ani nga zo thang me an chap shu je ni to ji chis.
So today that we have done this interview from on behalf of all the Gaden Shartse Monastery monks, we would like to say thank you. And also these days we all know that coronavirus been very viral in this world. So from the starting of this medicine Buddha mandala, we have a dedication that people can be cured by overcome from these diseases that we are facing in this world. It's everywhere in this world. So that's why we hope that Sand Mandala, the medicine Buddha, actually represents the deity of purifications and cure. So when we do the ritual, we're going to dedicate our prayers to the people who have the tragic time with the coronavirus, and they can overcome from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All week as I've been coming in, I have been watching people come over to these tables because they have an area here where people can actually try their hand at creating their own mandalas. And so I have a very helpful person here that's going to try to walk me through it. And I will also say is that I think I've had to sit by the most complicated one, but I'm going to try to work through it and hope that some of my artistic talent comes through. So we've agreed that, because I have never done this before, that I'm going to do with one of the bigger areas. So first off, tell me what I am actually working with here.
The deity here is a Vajrasattva that we believe, according to the Buddhist traditions, the Vajrasattva is the deity of healing and purifications. So whenever there's something sickness and diseases there, we pay we do the ritual of Vajrasattva deity that can the positive energy can be come with us, and also or we can overcome from all those diseases and all those obstacles.
Now, you also explained that each one of the drawings that we have on the tables represents something different.
Yes.
And when children come and they are working at the tables, is there someone that can explain to them as well as to what they're specifically working on?
We do explain when the children comes. We explain each and every drawing here. For example, here we have horse with the 6 gems. He is taking on his back. it's the sixth gem. It represents six perfections. Once you know on the track of perfections, you have to deal with the six perfection. This is like a right patience, right motivation, right morality, right concentrations, like this kind of like we have six perfections that once you do this you take this in your daily life, that you know how you will ever done with the society and the other people that we believe. So as every single here is a snow lion that represents the the auspiciousness. The lion is a king of all animals, the wild animals. So the lion there is also in a way of our tradition that makes the sign of auspiciousness.
So let's start out, because I've got one of these little handy tools. And so what do I assume I had to put sand in it first?
Yes.
And could you help me with that?
Yeah.
So
So what do you do is, once you want to take the sand from the box, what do you have to do? You have to hold this here, because the sand will not fall down and then will not make messy. So that's why we hold this here, and then we try to do like here, this way. So the sand can remain in your. When you vibrate this, it will not fall down, but all the sand comes to the on the bottom of this top.
I see. Okay. Okay. Now, you were telling me how to go about holding this, because
Yes.
obviously I had to have it stabilized. And I'm supposed to,
Yeah, you have to hold like this.
okay.
Once you hold like this finger, you can do the direction wherever you want to do in a way. And this this top, if you touch this way, then it become more stable.
Yeah, I
And
can see that.
If you slipped a little your arm on a way, then it makes you more stable. So, and then it is like you can do with a very accurate way.
Now I know I'm not gonna, unless I stand up, I know I can't do that because my arm's not going to twist that
So
way.
you can do in a way this.
So
This wrist that you put like here, and then hold this.
oh, I see. So you're doing it between.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got a little bit more stability
And
there.
then you do it like that.
Okay, and so we come along. Ooh, right. Oh, I see it. It's come out. It's come out. and I have to be closer to it than I am.
Yeah. You have
Okay.
to be this top of the chagri has to be just above the line, that you will not
Okay, so I shouldn't be starting in the middle. And look at this, I'm shaking.
Yes.
I would not be able to do this process. Okay, so, and then I just, so
Yeah.
that's just a little bit. Now, if I wanted to give a lot,
Yeah.
how was,
You have to if you want to get a lot, once you do like that, if you want to get a lot, you have to press this a little harder and vibrate this little harder, you will get a lot.
oh, look at that. Got it. Okay. I'm still getting, oh, I got a pile. All right, this is a lot more complicated than I thought it looked like.
So if you want to make this into a very accurate, it has to go just above the line,
I see.
and then when you do, you have to do in a way that it will not big messy on it. The line has to be inaccurate, then so you can do it. For example, I show you one for the lotus.
Oh my.
So to make it more beautiful, you have to do just above you have to add the precise form that you have built with your sand mandala, and then it will be much more beautiful to see. Like that.
So if you were doing this area, would you start with the lines like that and then work
Yes.
a to the larger areas or the other way? Would you go the larger areas and then the lines last?
So it depends on how you are, how it is written in the text. If it is written the larger area, then we do larger. If it's in a not in a small area, then we do small area.
So this is again back to really understanding the text and applying that text as you're working.
Yes.
And so it's a spiritual thing through you that's coming out through this instrument and being created here.
Yeah, that's true.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, actually, to be the master of Sand Mandala is very, tough, because you have to memorize all those texts. You have to do the many retreat for this, sessions to be a master. And once you have done the foundation, you have to be an artist also.
Yes, well, that would be an element of it, but there also seems to be so much more to it. And I can just see that through the concentration and how you become almost one with this piece.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Welcome, very.
Well, so we are at the end of this show today, and it has been an absolutely fascinating experience. It has also been one that has kind of been a spiritual development for me, because I see what is coming from the hearts of the people who are creating these and what's going on before them. It is a process that has been interesting through the entire week, and unfortunately by the time you're watching this program it is going to be finished, because the dissolution ceremony is this evening. However, we hope that they will be back next year, and you can stop by again at the Gomez Event Center here in Auburn, California. As always, I thank you for tuning in to Auburn Community Television and Meet the Artist. Who knows, by turning into this show, you'll discover that there's an artist living just around the corner, or in this instance, discover that there are artists worldwide. Or just possibly, you'll discover the artist within.